Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Mayor Aurora. I create finance videos to help educate you all out there on YouTube. We're going to cover credit cards, exactly what credit cards are, their importance in today's society, and how you can leverage them to help pave your way towards financial success. So stay tuned. So today's video will be broken down into three parts. Firstly, what exactly are credit cards? Second, how to choose the right credit card suited to your needs. Last but not least, how to build credit responsibly. So at its core, a credit card is simply a tool that allows you as a purchaser to purchase different goods and services using borrowed money. When you use your credit card to buy something, you're essentially borrowing money from the card issuer. But remember, this isn't free money. You'll need to pay back exactly what it is that you're borrowing, usually on a monthly basis. And there's two metrics that are super important with credit cards. First, APR, and second, credit limit. And we'll discuss both in depth. Let's first talk about APR, which stands for the annual percentage rate. This is the interest rate charged on any outstanding balance you carry on your credit card. It's super important to understand your card's APR as it can significantly impact how much you pay in interest over time. APR, in the most simplest terms, is the cost of you borrowing money and using your credit card. And of course, let's simulate a real-life example so you can see exactly what APR is in practice. So let's say you have a $5,000 balance unpaid on a credit card that has 20% APR, and you pay only $200 per month because you have other expenses in your life. It will take you 32 months to pay off this balance while accruing almost $1,500 in interest. Now let's say you're able to increase this monthly payment to $1,000 per month. Let's see how this changes the whole simulation. Firstly, the time it will take to pay off has now drastically reduced to 6 months. In addition to this, the interest amount will also decrease all the way down to about $177. And long story short, do not miss your credit card payments. It's crucial to only spend what it is that you know you're able to pay back on time. So next, let's discuss the credit limit. Your credit limit is the maximum amount of money that you can borrow on your credit card. Think of the credit limit as your spending cap. Exceeding your credit limit can result in fees and penalties, so it's super important to always stay within your means. And you're probably asking who determines this limit. So when you're getting approved for your credit card for the very first time, the credit card issuer or lender will determine your credit card limit. And this limit is usually based on incomes as well as credit scores. People who have higher incomes and solid credit scores will usually have higher limits. On the contrary, those with lower credit scores get lower limits. And this is simply due to risk, because in the end of the day, someone who has a higher salary and a high credit score is able to prove themselves to the credit card company that they can pay their payments on time in full, and they have the financial means to do so. And credit card limits usually account for around 30% of your credit score. So it's super important not to spend more than you're told. So now, the fun part, let's choose your first credit card. And how do you do that essentially? So there's three factors to consider when choosing your first credit card for the very first time. And those three factors are credit score, income, and spending habits. So firstly, consider your credit score. Your credit score reflects your credit worthiness, and it plays a significant role in determining the type of credit card you qualify for. If you're new to credit or if you have limited credit history, you may have a lower credit score. And in this case, you look for cards that are specifically designed for individuals with fair or average credit. Next, you need to evaluate your income. Your income level helps determine your ability to make payments on your credit card, and lenders always ask for proof of income when you're applying for a new card. But don't go out there and say that you make $1 million a year just so that you can get a really cool, fancy metal credit card, because they'll reject you and they'll know. And you're probably thinking, why is it that they even care about proof of income? One, it's obviously due to risk, and secondly, they need to know more precisely how much you're able to afford each month. And lastly, let's look at your spending habits. If you're someone that spends a lot on groceries or dining out, there's a credit card for you. Maybe you're a frequent traveler. Understanding your spending patterns can help you choose a card that aligns with your lifestyle and offers rewards or benefits that suit your needs. So maybe you're not certain based on the information that I provided, still, what credit cards you should look for. Let's take a look at the two top credit cards, in my opinion, for 2024 for those beginners out there. Firstly, there's the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card. This card is super interesting because you get a $200 cash rewards bonus after spending $500 within the first 3 months. So that means if you spend $500, as soon as you get this card in 3 months, you'll get $200 cash back, which is great. In addition to this, there's a 0% annual fee. 0% annual fee means by having this card, you don't have to pay any annual fee whatsoever. There's some credit cards out there that are a little bit more fancier or have better perks. On the trade-off on this aspect, you have to pay an annual fee. So that means just by holding the card, you have to pay a fee every year. In addition to this, another advantage that exists with this card is that there's a 0% introductory APR and you get 2% cash rewards on all purchases. So this means if you go to Chipotle and you spend $10 on a Chipotle bowl, you're going to get 2% cash back on that $10 purchase. Shout out to Chipotle. In terms of the disadvantages of this credit card, there's a high regular APR. There's also a foreign transaction fee. So for those of you who don't know what a foreign transaction fee is, that's basically if you use this card abroad, let's say you're traveling for some reason and you need to swipe this card abroad, you're going to have to pay a certain fee associated with that transaction. If you're someone who doesn't travel too much, or if you don't expect yourself to utilize this card when you are traveling, don't worry too much about this being a negative. And now let's look at the other card that I recommend for 2024 as of April, which is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. And I personally have this card myself. I think it's a great card for beginners. So the Chase Freedom Unlimited gives you an intro offer for signing up today, which basically earns you an additional 1.5% cash back on everything you buy, and that's up to $20,000 spent in the first year, and that's worth up to $300 cash back, which is great. After your first year or $20,000 spent, you'll enjoy 5% cash back on travel purchased through Chase Travel, 3% cash back on drugstore purchases and dining at restaurants, and this includes takeout as well as eligible delivery services. And the best part is that you're going to get 1.5% cash back on all other purchases. And in terms of the negatives, and similar to the Wells Fargo card, you will have a foreign transaction fee with this card and the potential for a high regular APR. If you're someone who will be making your payments on time, it's not a worry for you. So the last segment of this video will specifically be suited to building credit responsibly. And I want to highlight two things here, right? The importance of building credit responsibly and strategies for success in managing this. Building a solid credit history is essential for unlocking financial success. Your credit history is like your financial resume. It's a record of your borrowing and your repayment behavior, and lenders use this information to determine your credit worthiness when you apply for loans, mortgages for a house in fact, as well as rental agreements. So how can you build and maintain good credit habits? First, you want to always pay your bills on time because payment history is one of the most significant factors in your credit score. So make sure you pay your credit card bills, your loans, and any other obligations by their due dates. Secondly, please keep your credit card balances low. And you need to aim to use no more than 30% of your available credit limit. A high credit utilization rate may signal to lenders that you're overextended and there may be a possibility for default, which is very risky to them. Third, do not open too many credit cards at once. Don't watch this video and say, okay, I'm going to take Mayor's advice and now I'm going to start opening up one credit card and I really like it and now I want to open up 5 more. Do not do that. If you open too many accounts, it will be really bad for your credit score because each time you apply for credit, it generates a hard inquiry on your credit report, and that temporarily lowers your credit score. Instead, focus on building a solid credit history with the few credit cards that you're managing. Lastly, review your credit report for any errors because you may be able to dispute fraudulent charges, as well as you're able to kind of see exactly and track exactly what it is that you're spending each month. Remember, credit cards can be a very important tool for financial success. Use them wisely, and if you really like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. It would help me out tremendously. And stay tuned for more videos on the topic. And comment your favorite credit card in the comments below because it may be very useful for people out there to see exactly what you're using. So I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers. Bye.